Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour. Top leaders of major political parties on campaign trail in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly election. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses election rally in Doda. Says Jammu and Kashmir is writing a new story of development. Also launches BJP's election campaign for the Haryana Assembly polls. In a major decision amidst Russia-Ukraine conflict, US-UK put off suggestions to use long-range missiles by Ukraine, keeps it open for talks with allies. Russia and Ukraine exchange 103 prisoners of war from each side. Prisoners exchanged following negotiations mediated by the United Arab Emirates. Extreme weather wreaks havoc around the world. Vietnam's typhoon Yagi death toll passes 250. Rivers burst banks in Poland and Czech Republic, causing major floods in Central Europe. Myanmar also hit by deadly floods. Defending champions India beat arch-rivals Pakistan 2-1 in the Asian Champions Trophy. Enter semis unbeaten. Harmanpreet Singh scores brace. The 2024 Assembly elections will mark the first local elections in Jammu and Kashmir since the abrogation of Article 370. The region's first Assembly election in a decade will define its future governance. Notably, candidates are now reaching out directly to the voter at their doorsteps after a long gap of 37 years. On Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about the changes taking place in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister Modi also attacked the Congress, National Conference and PDP over dynastic politics.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday said terrorism is taking its last breath in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Addressing an election rally in Doda, Prime Minister highlighted that the big transformation taking place in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
Jammu Kashmir mein आतंकवाद अब अपनी अंतिम सांसें गिन रहा है। पिछले 10 साल में जम्मू कश्मीर में जो बदलाव आया है वो किसी सपने से कम नहीं है। जो पत्थर पहले पुलिस और फौज पर फेंकने के लिए उठते थे, उन पत्थरों से नया जम्मू कश्मीर बन रहा है।
Jammu and Kashmir's political landscape changed drastically after the 2019 abrogation of Article 370. It witnessed massive transformation from bullets to ballot. So what are those changes? Let's take a look. The 2024 Assembly elections will mark the first local elections in Jammu and Kashmir since the abrogation of Article 370. The past 5 years has seen transformative changes. They include a major delimitation exercise, redrawing assembly boundaries, a rigorous crackdown on separatists, terror outfits, illegal financial channels, and anti-national elements. This has fostered a more fear-free environment for voters. Jammu and Kashmir witnessed its highest voter turnout in 35 years in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Home Minister Amit Shah said that the voting percentage rose from 14% in the past to 37% in the Kashmir Valley seat of Srinagar in Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Women voters outnumber men in the 8 assembly segments of Srinagar district. Srinagar district scheduled to go to polls on September 25th in the second phase of polling. Door-to-door campaigning for election resumes after 37 years. Strikingly, this is the first time that door-to-door canvassing has returned to the Kashmir Valley since 1987 Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. Prime Minister Modi also attacked the Congress, National Conference and the PDP, accusing them of damaging Jammu and Kashmir through dynastic politics.
आजादी के बाद से ही हमारा प्यारा जम्मू कश्मीर विदेशी ताकतों के निशाने पर आ गया। इसके बाद इस खूबसूरत राज्य को परिवारवाद ने खोखला करना शुरू कर दिया। यहां जिन राजनीतिक दलों पर आपने भरोसा किया, उन्होंने आपके बच्चों की चिंता नहीं की। उन राजनीतिक दलों ने सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने बच्चों को आगे बढ़ाया।
24 assembly constituencies go to poll in the first phase on the 18th of September, while voting for the second phase will take place on the 25th of September and the third phase on the 1st of October. The counting of votes will take place on the 8th of October. Bureau Report, DD India.
Meanwhile, the National Conference and PDP face a tough challenge in maintaining their positions amid the shifting political landscape in the Union Territory. The rise of independent candidates has notably altered the political dynamics. National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi's comments on political dynasties made during his rally in Jammu and Kashmir. All right, and DD India correspondent Tahir Nadeem Khan is joining us live from Doda. Hi, Tahir. PM Modi addressed rally there today. I want to ask you, how was the response? What are people saying? What is youth saying? And how about the first-time voters? How's the excitement? Tell us everything.
Well, Siddharth, the excitement, as I said, is electrifying, is electric excitement. All the voters, not only youth, elderly, and even coming from diverse societies, they are very much excited, and the response was overwhelming. We have never ever seen such kind of a response for any political leader.
Okay.
Although Prime Minister came here, it is after 42 years that Prime Minister has come to address a political election rally in district Doda. It was in 1982 when Indira Gandhi came here to address a rally. But since then, no one has came here. So excitement is sky high. And the second factor, that the elections are being held, assembly election, after 10 years gap, that has also made this rally very, very special. And the way Prime Minister connected with the people by saying that you have to choose between three families, he was referring to Congress, Indian National Congress, National Conference and PDP. And he said that you have to choose between three families. Either you want to go with them or you want to go with the Sankalp Patra of BJP, which is the manifesto of BJP for Jammu and Kashmir, in which it guarantees jobs for youth and complete rehabilitation for migrants and this empowerment for women, especially those residing in far-off hilly areas, special package for them. So response was tremendous, and the way he referred local things, as he said that the neighboring town of Doda, which is Bhadra Valley, where I am right now standing, he said this is the town which brought famous purple revolution in India by growing exotic lavender. So people got connected with these things, and the way he said that the Bhadrava has emerged as the major tourist destination and hotels are coming up. He wants to see this kind of overall development. He said that his first priority is to eradicate the terrorism completely, and only then Jammu and Kashmir can become the haven for tourism. So people got connected with these kind of rotation. And when he said that the honorarium or the for elderly women of the household will be given 3,000, and that is very important for this area, because the living cost in these hilly areas in Chenab region, which he was referring in, is low as compared to the metro cities. So 3,000 is a big thing for this area. So people got connected.
Okay. Tahir, but how about from the security perspective? You had a word with the youth there of first-time voters. What are they saying? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, while addressing the rally, said that terrorism is taking its last breath.
lost that.
How are they feeling from the security point of view?
Well, people are feeling secure. A lot of things have changed. There is not even a single incident of stone pelting in entire Chenab region since last 7 years.
Okay.
So people, they are feeling secure in this regime, and they are confident. The way Prime Minister said that terrorism is counting its last breath, and soon the terrorism will be completely eradicated. They are very much confident. They want to go. They want to know. As I said, they only want development. They want better education, better Medicare facilities, better job opportunities. That is the prime concern of the youth, and for that, they got connected with the Prime Minister. The way he addressed the rally and addressed all sections of the society over here, they are very much excited. And it seems for the first time, not only that you are referring the parliamentary election in which record turnout was there, but this time the way authorities like Election Commission of India through SEEP is reaching each and every corner of the state, every group, every smallest group of over here. It seems that all the previous record will be shattered, and people will come out in large numbers to vote.
Okay. Tahir, NC Vice President Omar Abdullah, he has criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi's comments on political dynasties made during his rally in Jammu and Kashmir. I want to ask you that what is this current situation there? Are they already scared even before the polling?
Well, a few days back he addressed two election
Did you have a word with
in
any of the party members?
Yes, I do have.
Okay. Are they scared?
We do interviewed.
Are they already scared?
Yes. They seem visibly scared. Not only because of the BJP, they are also of the release of Engineer Rashid. They are saying that this is a strategic move, and that has also made them very scary. The way he is gathering crowd in South Kashmir, where 18 constituency will go to poll in the first phase. They are scared. They are not only scared of BJP, they are also scared of the independent candidate. The way they are making inroads in all the constituencies, that is very scary for them, and they seem to be scared. That is why they are making such kind of statements, and he has tasted that thing in the parliamentary election where the jailed Engineer Rashid defeated him.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Tahir, for that analysis.
Thank you.
After concluding his visit to Doda in Jammu and Kashmir, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a rally in Haryana's Kurukshetra on Saturday. Prime Minister urged people to support BJP in the upcoming Haryana elections. He also criticized the opposition Congress and AAP for alleged misuse of public funds under their rule.
अच्छे खासे राज्यों को बर्बाद कैसे किया जाता है, ये कांग्रेस वहां करके दिखा रही है। और कांग्रेस की इस चालबाजी में उसकी पिछलग्गू पार्टी भी हां में हां मिला रही है। ये कट्टर बेईमान पार्टी है। इस पार्टी की भी एक ही नीति है, चुनाव जीतने के लिए जनता का खजाना खाली करो। आप पंजाब की हालत देखिए, क्या कर दी है। हरियाणा के लोगों को ऐसी पार्टियों को सरकार के पास भी नहीं फटकने देना है।
Prime Minister also highlighted BJP's governance record during his address, pointing to recent initiatives designed to benefit farmers, the poor, youth and women. And in a special gesture, Swiss Foreign Minister Ignazio Cassis hosted External Affairs Minister in Geneva. The two leaders held wide-ranging discussions on bilateral ties focused on leveraging the trade agreement between India and four-nation European bloc EFTA, which includes Switzerland. The leaders also discussed global and regional issues of mutual interest. In Geneva, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar revealed that 75% of disengagement problems at the border with China have been sorted out, but talks are still going on. In a conversation with Ambassador Jean-David Levitt at Geneva Center for Security Policy on Thursday, The minister explained the complex relations between the two largest neighbors of the world, saying that militarization of border is a major impediment in bilateral relations.
Are going on. We made some progress. I would say roughly, you can say about 75% of the disengagement problems are sorted out. We still have some things to do, but there's a bigger issue that, if both of us have brought forces close up, and in that sense, there's the level of militarization of the border has increased. How does one deal with it? I think we have to deal with it. But in the meanwhile, after the clash, it has affected actually the entirety of the relationship, because you can't have violence on the border and then say the rest of the relationship is insulated from it.
To come on DD India Newshour. In the United States, campaigning for the presidential election is reaching its crescendo. Israeli army took reporters to exposed tunnel shafts in the Tel al-Sultan area of Rafah. Venezuela and Spain are embroiled in a diplomatic spat. Stay with us to know more.
Double Paralympic gold medalist Avni Lekra is with us. Tell us, how big is Paris gold medal for you?
It's a really big thing for me to be able to go there and, when another gold medal defended my title. This was a little tougher and challenging.
What has changed in Avni in the last 3-4 years?
Pressure was much more this time, I think, from my side, because always when you know that you can do it, you have your own expectations, the expectations of the country.
Which is closer to your heart, Tokyo or Paris?
I mean, Tokyo was my first, so a little 0.1%.
You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. In the United States, campaigning for the presidential election is reaching its crescendo as both nominees, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, are holding public rallies in key battleground states. Our next report by DD India's Mihir Maikuri covers all the major developments in the election.
Election fever is intensifying across the United States with each passing day as presidential hopefuls pull out all the stops to win over voters. On Friday, Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris made a compelling offer in the crucial swing state of Pennsylvania that is likely to resonate with millions of young voters across the country. She proposed that, if elected president, she will cut college degree requirements for certain federal jobs.
So as president, I will get rid of the unnecessary degree requirements for federal jobs to increase jobs for folks without a 4-year degree, understanding that requiring a certain degree does not necessarily talk about one's skills.
In another key swing state of Nevada, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump promised the crowd substantial tax reliefs to appeal to working-class voters.
And when I'm back in that beautiful White House, we will pass larger tax cuts for workers. And we have a special tax that here is going to do, I think, quite well. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips.
Despite facing flack for promoting a conspiracy theory targeting Haitian immigrants, Donald Trump intensified his anti-migrant rhetoric on Friday. He announced that if elected president, he would spearhead mass deportations of Haitian immigrants from an Ohio city.
We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. He told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals. Not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities.
In response to Trump's remarks, President Joe Biden, while addressing a Black Excellence brunch at the White House, urged Trump to stop inflaming tensions against Haitians by spreading a false story about immigrants allegedly eating pet cats and dogs in an Ohio town.
I want to take a moment to say something like so many Americans like Karine, as he pointed out, a proud Haitian American, community that's under attack in our country right now. Simply wrong. There's no place in America. This has to stop what he's doing. It has to stop.
Taking a jibe at the US polls, Pope Francis said that US voters must choose the lesser evil when they go to polls in November to elect their next president.
Si dice che non votare è brutto.
Generally, it is said that not voting is ugly. It is not good. You must vote and you must choose the lesser evil. Who is the lesser evil? That lady or that gentleman? I don't know. Everyone in conscience has to think about it and do this.
All in all, it will be interesting to see how things unfold in the coming months for both the presidential nominees. Mir Makri reporting for DD India.
In a major decision amidst Russia-Ukraine conflict, US-UK have put off suggestions to use long-range missiles by Ukraine and kept it open for talks with allies. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine have conducted second major prisoner swap in 2 days on Saturday, following negotiations mediated by the United Arab Emirates. More in this report.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has expressed strong support for Ukraine after his meeting with US President Joe Biden held at the White House. Both leaders met at the White House for discussions on how to deal with emerging situation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The British Prime Minister indicated that he and Biden would now discuss the plan at the UN General Assembly in New York the week after next with a wider group of individuals.
Leadership in this front, the United States is committed to standing with you to help Ukraine as it defends against Russia's onslaught and aggression. Clear that Putin will not prevail in this war, and the people of Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said late on Friday that his plan to achieve victory depended on Washington's decision. He gave a clear reference to the authorization for long-range strikes that Kiev has long sought from NATO allies. However, no official decision on the matter has been announced so far. The talks between the US President and the UK PM took place in the backdrop of Russian President Vladimir Putin's warning to Western nations about severe consequences if Ukraine were to use long-range missiles against Russia.
This potential development of the situation may fundamentally change our relationship with the Western camp. If the decision to lift restriction is really taken or will be taken, in this case, we will have to, as you understand, take the relevant decision with all the consequences for this that the Western aggressors would incur.
The White House called the threats made by Putin incredibly dangerous, but vowed to stand with Ukraine.
This war, the war that we're seeing in Ukraine, the aggression from Russia can end today. Russia can move their troops out of Ukraine and it can end. So that type of rhetoric is incredibly dangerous, but it's not new.
Meanwhile, the United States has decided to impose sanctions on 3 entities, including Russian broadcaster RT and 2 individuals connected to a Russian campaign of destabilizing countries around the world.
Today, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada are launching a joint diplomatic campaign to rally allies and partners around the world to join us in addressing the threat posed by RT and other machinery of Russian disinformation and covert influence.
Russia and Ukraine conducted a major exchange of prisoners on Saturday, 206 in all, in their second such swap in 2 days. The exchange was mediated by the UAE. It was the country's 8th such mediation effort since the start of 2024. Bureau Report, DD India.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met with top Russian security official Sergei Shoigu and discussed deepening strategic dialogue between the two countries. Kim held a bilateral meeting with Shoigu and discussed wide range of views on regional and international situations. They also agreed on cooperation to defend mutual safety interests. And the Israeli army took reporters to exposed tunnel shafts in Tel Al Sultan area of Rafah on Friday that they say were uncovered by Israeli troops in southern Gaza. The tour included a stop at an entrance to an underground chamber where the Israeli military says the bodies of 6 Israeli hostages killed by Hamas were recovered on September 1st. The military did not allow reporters into the tunnel, citing security reasons.
There is a complete maze of tunnels here in Tel Sultan. You just heard the shootings. We're still looking and searching for terrorists in this area, and we are gathering all the DNA and the forensic to find and hunt those terrorists who committed this horrific crime here.
The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres attended annual Peace Bell ceremony at the United Nations headquarters in New York to ring the peace bell. Guterres urged everyone around the world to cultivate a culture of peace amid geopolitical divisions. Speaking at the ceremony, UN Chief Guterres said that peace is under threat. Expressing sense of crisis due to conflicts around the world, the UN chief rings the bell every year ahead of International Day of Peace, which is observed on September 21st.
Peace is under threat. Please join me in a moment of silence. We must cultivate a culture of peace. That is the call we make today. May it ring out around the world.
Venezuela and Spain are embroiled in a diplomatic spat following comments by Spanish Defense Minister Margarita Robles, who labeled Venezuela's government a dictatorship. In response, Venezuelan Foreign Minister has recalled Spain's ambassador in Caracas for consultations and summoned the Spanish ambassador to appear at the Foreign Ministry. After the meeting with Spain's ambassador, Foreign Minister said in a statement on Friday that Caracas would accept no interference from the Spanish government in its affairs and would take the necessary steps to protect its sovereignty. In a post on social media, Venezuelan Foreign Minister cited comments by Spanish Defense Minister Margarita Robles as the reason behind the move. Well, as the campaign's silence period of 72 hours before the Sri Lankan polls fast approaching, the front-runners have intensified their meetings and rallies outside Colombo. While incumbent President Ranil Wickremesinghe has emphasized to address the developmental changes in the north, SJB candidate Premadasa termed the recent salary hike and income tax reduction as delayed. The crucial presidential election in the neighboring country is scheduled to be held on 21st of September. Over 17 million voters will decide the fate of 38 candidates who are in the fray. And let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. Iran on Saturday launched a research satellite into orbit with a rocket built by Revolutionary Guards. As per Iranian state media, the primary mission of the satellite is to test hardware and software systems for demonstrating orbital maneuvering technology in height and phase. Bolivian authorities seized 11,000 illegally transported turtle eggs from a 23-year-old woman in northern Bolivia. The woman has been detained by forestry police in charges related to illegal possession and transportation of wildlife. A new immersive installation inspired by Barbie's dream house and the desert landscape of Greater Palm Springs, California is on display as part of this year's London Design Festival. 3 pavilions in central London feature scenes inside the famed Muttle doll's home seen through small windows, as well as mini garden space with cacti to be explored. Still to come on DD India Newshour. Extreme weather has wreaked havoc around the world. We'll give you all the details. Stay tuned. We will discuss the changing political landscape in Jammu and Kashmir with our expert, senior journalist R. Rajagopalan. 8 Naxalites were arrested in Sukma district in Indian state of Chhattisgarh.
it is our own unsustainable human activity that is the biggest threat for our planet. So what can we as individuals do to save and preserve our ecosystems?
We provide a bridge between nature and our urban environment.
So we started rescuing an animal on field, or you're bringing the animal into the rescue center where it undergoes rehabilitation and then is reintroduced back to the wild.
It's very important that they understand the journey they're about to take on, which is tree planting. So this particular pencil, for it has seeds inside, and they're using it to study, but at the end of the day it's going to translate into a tree. A tree was cut and a tree is going to be planted.
You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, and a quick recap of the headlines. Top leaders of major political parties on campaign trail in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly election. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses election rally in Doda. Says Jammu and Kashmir is writing a new story of development. Also launches BJP's election campaign for the Haryana Assembly polls. In a major decision amidst Russia-Ukraine conflict, US-UK put off suggestions to use long-range missiles by Ukraine, keeps it open for talks with allies. Russia and Ukraine exchange 103 prisoners of war from each side. Prisoners exchanged following negotiations mediated by the United Arab Emirates. Defending champions India beat arch-rivals Pakistan 2-1 in Asian Champions Trophy. Enters semis unbeaten. Harmanpreet Singh scores brace. After abrogation of Article 370, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir will witness assembly polls for the first time. Over the years, there has been a significant shift in the political dynamics in the region. Now to discuss it in detail, I have R. Rajagopalan. He is a senior journalist joining us live. Hello, sir. First of all, a very warm welcome on the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Shita.
Okay. Let me start with a little background of the region and then welcome to the present scenario, right? The Jammu and Kashmir region has witnessed turbulent times, when it comes to assembly elections, in low voter turnout. But now, after 37 years, campaigning resumed at door-to-door, which proves a change in political landscape. Youth and first-time voters, they're excited, and citizens absolutely fearless. Sir, how do you analyze this?
It's a great victory for Mr. Narendra Modi's government, especially Bharatiya Janata Party government, whether in the Narendra Modi's cap. Moreover, Siddharth, as I have been watching the Indian elections for the last 10 general elections from 1977 onwards, but for the first time I am seeing a virulent, a steady among the youth, especially to join the mainstream of Indian politics, adopting the Indian constitution, and for the first time, the Prime Minister's meeting was overwhelmingly in a very good attendance in Doda today. Second thing, the campaign has picked up. The Omar Abdullah and the Madam, Mufti Muhammad's daughter, Mahbooba Mufti Muhammad, are also campaigning in a very extensive way. But today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attack on the dynasty is a turning point in the history of Jammu Kashmir elections. Second thing, the peace has returned. Even Rahul Gandhi, who adopted the long journey marathon walking from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, he in peacetime, and he had ice cream with the boat riding with his sister like that. So therefore, Mr. Rahul Gandhi should also thank BJP government for abrogating 370. Now coming to the real political issue. Because of this abrogation of 370, the international fora like UN Security Council, UN General Assembly, or even in IMF, even in World Bank, the Pakistan delegation has been wanting the Jammu Kashmir issue to be resolved like that. Like for the past 10 years, there is no question of Kashmir in the international fora because Mr. Narendra Modi was very strong and he had a political will to ensure that Article 370 is abrogated. With that, I would summarize that in another 5 years' time, you wait and watch how the BJP government at the center will give the status of Jammu and Kashmir as statehood. And it was a great demand of the Jammu Kashmir voters. And Mr. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, has already announced that soon after the elections are over, we will enforce the willpower of the voters to have a statehood of the Jammu Kashmir. Now, coming to the regional parties, there are many regional parties which is supporting BJP. Politically, if you speak, as a political correspondent which I observed, Umar Abdullah has been repeatedly saying that BJP wants to cut the independence and make a majority and form the government. Yes, Mr. Narendra Modi was present in Mahuba Mufti Mohammed swearing-in ceremony 5 years ago.
Do you reckon that the opposition is already scared?
Definitely.
To what extent? It seems like they're already scared.
In large numbers, the voters are coming, and moreover, the public participation is more and more. Therefore, I would say that the political will of the union government, Mr. Narendra Modi, has been very successful. I am repeating that. Why I am saying? For the first time, even during Manmohan Singh's UPA era, only 2% people were voted. Only 2%. But in Baramulla, 2024 Lok Sabha election, 54% of voting was done. Now you can see the replication of the same thing in Jammu Kashmir, the beautiful city. And moreover, the Election Commission of India has also organized some 20 election observers from the world over. They are also staying in Jammu Kashmir, understanding the democracy, which is having a very, very useful dancing, dance of democracy. And second thing, changing political landscape in Jammu Kashmir. Yes, it is a major turn, and I would like to say the Election Commission has done extremely a good job. We have to give reward. We have to give amount of appreciation.
Okay, I get it, sir. The political landscape is certainly changing there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said terrorism is taking its last breath in Jammu and Kashmir. I would like to know what has been some of the steps which central government adopted to root out terrorism from Kashmir.
I would like to say, as a political correspondent, massive decision, economic decision of the Narendra Modi government was to demonetize the Indian currencies, 500 rupees and 1000 rupees.
Okay, demonetization.
Because for 500 rupees, killing voters or the common persons, they used to pelt stones at the Indian army.
Okay.
And major decision, I would like to say, that Narendra Modi took. It's a political willpower you have to do such type of far-reaching changes, which brought in Jammu Kashmir. And second thing, Prime Minister has always been saying, instead of terrorism, let us have tourism. So therefore, tourism has been given a massive, induction in the policy of the union government. Now I would say, even Mr. Farooq Abdullah, the chief of NC, is appreciative of Mr. Narendra Modi's gesture, and he also says, but for Mr. Narendra Modi's importance, the decision of 370 would not have been properly implemented. And second thing, is such a beautiful city Kashmir has been. Now there is no untoward incident. The private participation is also more. Hotels are coming up. Even some temples from South India, Tirupati, Tirumala, Devasthanam, Sabarimala, and even this Sirdi Sai Baba, this type of temples have been given land in Jammu and Kashmir, both places, and slowly, steadily, the 5,000 or 6,000 plots are being sold for non-residents. The Prime Minister initiative was also aimed at the Valmiki society, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, all of them will have equal participation in the land holding. And with that, I would like to say, the people are wanting a change. The voters are also wanting to participate in the election. That's the reason why Election Commission has gone an elaborative arrangement. In another 10 days, you will wait and watch. First polling would have been over, and by October 8th, you will know the result. My estimation, Siddharth, at least 50% of the voters will turn up for the election voting pattern.
50%. 50%, this is what you are saying. Actually, you're right. Massive political landscape transformation. From bullet to ballot. Sir, abrogation of Article 370 helped to bring massive transformation, as you were also mentioning, ushering in new era of development in Union territory. And tourism in the Jammu and Kashmir has also witnessed massive boom, bringing prosperity in the region. Trade and investment seems to be new normal for a region now. How do you see this change? And will this be more helpful to generate more employment opportunities for youth?
Yes, it has already generated. The world's tallest bridge has been built. And the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Manoj Sinha, has been touring a lot in Jammu and Kashmir, both the areas, and the administration. Siddharth, I would like to say, my dear friend, Mr. Satish Chandra, an Andhra Pradesh cadre IAS officer, retired, he has been appointed as a Jammu and Kashmir Public Service Commission Chief. And Mr. Satish Chandra has conducted exams in Jammu Kashmir. Can you for the candidates for the Deputy Superintendent of Police upward onwards, the elections, examinations, and examinations have been very, very successful. So therefore, democracy has set in Jammu Kashmir. That is the fortune of abrogation of 370. Not only that 370 has been implemented in Jammu Kashmir, the Valmiki, the scheduled caste, Dalits have been given voting rights. Earlier, such was not there during Congress regime. And that reason why Mr. Amit Shah on 5th of August 2019, when he addressed the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha both, where I was present in the press gallery as a journalist, I would like to say the master speech of Mr. Narendra Modi's government, especially Mr. Amit Shah, has twisted. Now, after 5 years, Mr. Amit Shah also saying that statehood would be, given to the waiting the voters. It's going to be boom. You wait and watch. A rigorous crackdown on separatists, as you are now mentioning, has also helped them. The Pakistani intruders have also been reduced because of the strict national security has been brought into force in Jammu Kashmir.
All right, sir. It was wonderful having you on the broadcast today. Thank you so much for your perfect analysis. Extreme weather has wreaked havoc around the world. The mayhem of Typhoon Yagi continued as death toll in Vietnam surpassed 250 mark. Over 820 were reported to be injured as of Friday. Meanwhile, torrential rains have also raised the flood warnings in various European regions. Here's a report.
Extreme weather conditions have been slamming all parts of the world recently. The mayhem of Typhoon Yagi continued as death toll in Vietnam surpassed 250 mark. Over 820 people have been injured. The rising water levels in Mekong River has also raised flood warning in Laos's capital, Vientiane. The authorities have said that continuous rain is expected until September 16. Severe flooding has hit Myanmar after Typhoon Yagi, with more than 230,000 people forced to flee their homes. The country's ruling junta has requested foreign aid to mitigate the impact. Scientific consensus state that the likelihood of very strong tropical cyclones like Typhoon Yagi are increasing due to climate change.
Yagi and the intense precipitation totals, they do fall in a pattern, and which is that typhoons and tropical cyclones in general are getting wetter, so they bring more rain when they make landfall.
Torrential rains in the European countries have triggered massive flooding in various regions. Heavy rains in Central Europe caused a river in Slovenia to swell and flood on Thursday. Prague is putting up flood defences after Czech forecasters expanded a warning for extreme rainfall to areas of the country. Water management authorities have also started to empty reservoirs on the Vlatva Dam cascade upstream as well as on the rivers to make room to the expanded floodwaters.
We have strongly advised cities to cancel public events on Friday and Saturday. We also advise against excessive movement outside, certainly not in parks or forests where there is an immediate risk.
Furthermore, Austria is also bracing up for flooding problems on border with Germany after heavy rainfall predictions over the weekend. Residents in North Mexico struggled as the tropical storm Ileana flooded the roads. The storm made its landfall on Friday. The Mexican National Meteorological Service informed intense rains are forecast for Saturday, as the storm is expected to weaken as it moves north along the peninsula. In Thailand, Mesai district of Siang Rai suffered the worst flooding of 3 decades in the country. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra visited the affected areas and met victims of the floods. Nikita's report for DD India.
And still to come on DD India Newshour. Indian cricketer Ravichandran Ashwin has launched the anthem for his newly minted chess team, the American Gambits. Neeraj Chopra in action at Diamond League Final 2024. You're watching DD India Newshour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the citizens on the occasion of Hindi Divas today. In a social media post on X, the Prime Minister congratulated all the citizens on the occasion. India's Home Minister Amit Shah launched the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the commemoration of Hindi as official language on this day 75 years ago. On this occasion, the 4th Akhil Bharatiya Raj Bhasha Sammelan is being held in New Delhi. Home Minister Shah also launched the Diamond Jubilee special issue of Raj Bhasha Bharati magazine. The minister also launched a commemorative postage stamp and coin to make the Diamond Jubilee memorable. PM Modi has been constantly emphasizing on the development of Hindi and Indian languages and better coordination between them, keeping in view the intent of the Constitution and the Prime Minister's direction with the objective of promoting the use of Indian languages along with Hindi and establishing better coordination between them. The Ministry of Home Affairs Official Language Department had proposed to establish Bharatiya Bhasha Anubhag.
नई शिक्षा नीति में प्राथमिक शिक्षा पर बल देने का काम किया है और प्राथमिक शिक्षा अपनी भाषा में बच्चे की मातृभाषा में हो, ये बहुत जरूरी समझा गया है। मोदी जी ने दुनिया के बड़े से बड़े मंच पर विश्वास के साथ और गौरव के साथ पूरी दुनिया को हिंदी में संबोधित कर हिंदी की स्वीकार्यता को बढ़ाने का काम।
Today, the nation proudly celebrates Hindi Divas, a day dedicated to honoring and promoting the Hindi language. While this occasion is observed with fervor in India, its impact is being felt across the globe as the day marks 75th year of its adoption as an official language of the country within 2 years of independence by the Constituent Assembly.
The significance of Hindi has transcended borders with recent events during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Moscow, Ukraine, Austria and Poland, highlighting the growing global embrace of the language. From international citizens speaking in Hindi to performing dance routines on Hindi songs, the spirit of Hindi is truly international. As India celebrates Hindi Divas, the influence of the Hindi language is reaching beyond the country's borders. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visits to Ukraine, Austria and Poland, foreign citizens embraced Hindi in heartwarming displays of cultural exchange. In Ukraine, local citizens not only spoke in Hindi but also sang popular Hindi songs during the Prime Minister's visit, adding a unique flavor to the event. In Austria, the atmosphere was equally vibrant. And in Poland, a similar spirit was evident, with Hindi songs and speeches bringing together communities to honor the cultural ties between the two nations.
हम बहुत चाहते हैं कि सांस्कृतिक संबंध, राजनीतिक संबंध दृढ़ होते जाए और हमारे देशों के बीच मैत्रीपूर्ण संबंध बढ़ते जाए।
मुझे बहुत आशा है कि इस मुलाकात के बाद ज़्यादातर लोगों को ये पता हो जाएगा कि वास्तव में यूक्रेन और भारत के बीच अच्छा रिश्ता बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
मुझे हिंदी बहुत पसंद है क्योंकि भारत एक दिलचस्प और बहुत सुंदर देश है।
वंदे मातरम सुजलाम सुफलाम मालया शीतलाम।
As Hindi Divas shines a light on the importance of India's official language, the growing international participation in cultural events, especially during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's foreign visits, signals that Hindi is becoming a language of global goodwill. Whether through songs, speeches or performances, the love for Hindi continues to build bridges between cultures and nations. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
The Assistant High Commission of India at Kandy observed Hindi Divas in Sri Lanka. In addition, Swami Vivekanand Cultural Centre, the cultural arm of the High Commission of India in Colombo, observed the Hindi Day in Colombo on Friday. The event also witnessed completion of Hindi course of 30 Sri Lanka police personnel at the centre. High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, congratulated the third batch of police personnel for their successful completion of the spoken Hindi course at the Cultural Centre. He has also released the annual Hindi publication of the centre, Sri Lanka Hindi Samachar, at the event. Similarly, the Consulates General at Jaffna and Hambantota also observed Hindi Divas yesterday. India's President Draupadi Murmu, in her message on the eve of Onam, extended her best wishes to all Indians living in India and abroad on the auspicious occasion of Onam. In her message, the President said that this festival of joy and enthusiasm is celebrated to mark the harvesting of crops and that we express our deep gratitude to the farmers who work tirelessly to feed our nation. The harvest festival from the state of Kerala, Onam, is being celebrated across the UAE. Today is Uttradam, the first day of celebrations, with Malayalis preparing for the main event, Thiruvonam, on Sunday. With a large Keralite community in UAE, Onam has become one of the UAE's most eagerly awaited cultural events, showcasing the country's rich multiculturalism. And time now for sport. Captain Harmanpreet Singh led from the front as the Indian men's hockey team enters semi-finals after beating Pakistan 2-1 in their final group game of the Asian Champions Trophy 2024 in China. With the win, India maintained their unbeaten run in this tournament. Ahmad Nadeem had brought Pakistan into the lead in the 8th minute. However, Captain Harmanpreet Singh turned the game on his head with 2 penalty corner goals in the first half. After then, the score remained 2-1 as both sides battled hard in the remaining 2 quarters. India tried to find another goal to settle proceedings, while Pakistan fought for an equalizer but failed to find one. India's Neeraj Chopra will be aiming to secure a big win on Saturday in Brussels for the Diamond League final. Neeraj will be aiming to continue his fine run in Diamond League finals as he won the event in 2022 and finished second last year. He finished fourth in the overall javelin standings for the 2024 season after accumulating 14 points across 2 events. The 26-year-old Chopra secured second place in both the Doha leg in May and the Lausanne event in June. The Lausanne Diamond League saw Neeraj pull a rabbit out of hat with a stunning throw of 89.49 meter to finish in second spot. Indian cricketer Ravichandran Ashwin has launched the anthem for his newly minted chess team, the American Gambits, marking a significant entry into the Global Chess League. The anthem, titled Make the World Go, was unveiled through a digital release on Ashwin's social media, promising to bring a bold and fearless approach to the chessboard. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's official residence in New Delhi has a new member, a calf named Deep Jyoti. In a post on X, Prime Minister Modi informed that a calf was born to a cow with a unique mark of light on its forehead at his residence. The special calf has been named Deep Jyoti by Prime Minister Modi, symbolizing the radiance of a lamp. The Prime Minister also shared a video of himself spending time with the calf at his residence. That's all for this edition of DD India Newshour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Newshour.